Well, it is recording. Hello and welcome to the Sunken Submarine podcast. I'm Sammy here with David. Back for what? Season 4 here? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
And it's
Pumped!
yeah. It's something fun, something new for us. We probably should have picked this up in quarantine. I wasn't really doing anything but you were traveling a lot, so I guess
it still is quarantine, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We should have.
So, anyways, we're picking it back up here. I think season 4 is going to look different than most seasons. We planned on doing some other things like maybe some interviews, things like that. We're doing a different format. We're on Zoom. And we're really not, as so far, we haven't, wanted to plan ahead for anything. We're just kind of going to wing it, talk, shoot the shit, and go from there. So
I like it. I'm in. Oh, and I understand there's quarantine going on, a lot of other stuff, but I want to make a special note today. It's actually kind of a sad day. It's been 14,538 days since the death of John Lennon.
That hurt. That was hard not to smile. It's a shame.
What's enjoyable about that?
Absolutely nothing other than the fact that we're back on this grind, but it is a terrible day.
We were just talking about right before this how when we started this, we were like in the early 13,000s, I want to say. And we're all the way up to the mid 14,000s. So
making progress. I mean, in a bad way.
Yeah, you mean so we're not making progress?
Sure. We're still alive.
Well, you almost weren't, but yeah.
Several times.
Sammy's better now. He came
that
back
story.
So,
all right. I'll give a little preface here. So I had COVID. I got COVID. And I had just told the story 2 days ago to like two random drunk. We were all drunk at my place. And I told this story to them of how I caught COVID. And obviously the girl was disgusted. She was like, ew. And then the guy was like, well, there's always worse things you could catch, especially in that case. So it was yes, I caught COVID. It was a doozy. It was not fun. Everybody shows different symptoms. I happen to show every one of them. It was miserable. I was sick. I had diarrhea. I was sweating. I was hot. I was cold. Everything. Couldn't taste or smell. All that stuff. It was just, it was rough. And I lost 25 pounds. Well, 20.
Are you glad you did? Was it good weight loss?
Lost the weight or got COVID? Probably both.
You're happy about it?
Because what ended up resulting in me catching COVID was ultimately worth it to get COVID. It was worth catching COVID.
Well, you went to Boatchella, right?
Correct. Went to Boatchella.
I don't think we've been on here since you went there, so we should probably.
We haven't. So Boatchella was it was a concert on a cruise boat. 250 people in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area. And you got onto this boat. They temped you before you got on. You had to do their whole assessment thing before.
Were you like social distance into like different pockets or anything? Or was it all like.
Yeah. I mean, because it was 4 different levels, this cruise boat. And so Boatchella was also put on by a podcast. It was put on by the Back Pocket Podcast, which is a podcast. Shout out Back Pocket Podcast. It's a podcast up here in the Twin Cities that kind of talk about life. And they put on this event. They had 3 different musicians perform, 1 band, 1 rapper, and then I was too drunk to remember the third. But it was fun. It was a great time. There's one video, Snapchat video out there, pretty interesting video. It's panning across the entire pool deck. Everybody's drinking, everybody's doing things, and it's zooming in on people that I went with. One of the guys is, just smacking lips with some other random chick up there. Another guy's dancing with another one. There's another guy that's ordering drinks, and then there's this one guy who's taking the video, right? And then it scans over to me, and I am behind the tape where you can't enter because that's where the bands were performing. Yeah. I'm behind the tape where the bands are, and I'm sitting there smoking with them and drinking, and I'm chatting with the drummer of the band, and he's like, how the hell did he get back there? It was, but that video definitely.
We getting him on the podcast?
What was that?
Can we get him on the podcast?
Oh, easily. I can get the whole band on here.
That could be cool. I would do that. What was that name?
Do the band.
D-O?
D-E-W. I don't know. I just followed them on Instagram. I can send you their ad, but they're a different band. They're like a I don't know, I want to say an alternative. It reminds me a lot of what's the band that sings My Type?
Foo Fighters.
No. We don't like the Foo Fighters here. I don't know. It's like the band that does that. I can't think of the name right now, but that's kind of what music they make. Saint Motel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Saint Motel.
Saint Motel. That was the vibes they gave.
All right. I love Saint Motel. They're fantastic.
Oh.
So that's interesting because I'm kind of curious about all the different ways that people are trying to do these events now. The concerts in person, because I went to one earlier in the year, Tropodelic, where it was all separated out. There was ropes around, and then there was 8 people could be in between certain ropes, and it was a normal concert where you're standing outside. And then I went to the drive-in for Mark Rebier, who's do you like Mark Rebier?
I didn't even know who he was when you told me.
If you don't know who he is, I recommend looking him up. Because he just improvises music as someone will go flamingo, and then he'll write a song about a flamingo and make the music for it at the same time, and he'll just do it on stage. But that was a drive-in where you're not really supposed to get out of your car. And then last night I went to a concert where it's okay to get out of your car, but you always have to have a mask on. So I just think the different ways of doing that are interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how was the concert yesterday? Let's jump into yours.
So last night we showed up. It wasn't at a drive-in. So the concert who I was going to see was Quinn XCII, and so Quinn 92, and then anyways we rolled up, and it was Kid Quill was the first opener, and I was like, no way. We met Kid Quill, and
we were just taking a picture with him not a year ago, right? Or a year and a half.
Kid Quill made a stinking a shout out for us. He's like, yo, subscribe to the Sunken Submarine podcast. You already know what the beep it is. And so I was excited to see him there because they didn't advertise that. They didn't say that he was going to be there. I had no idea. And he's good. He's getting better than when we saw him, for sure.
I liked him when we saw him.
Yeah, when we saw him and he did the song called The Opener, and everyone gathered around him.
He came into the crowd. That was cool.
That was great. He didn't play it this time. I think he's too big for that.
Because he's not the opener anymore.
But he was the opener.
He was this time.
He was the opener for the opener.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
so
who was the opener?
Then Chelsea Cutler played next, and
I thought she was playing with Quinn.
She had her own entire time. Her and Quinn played for the same amount of time, separately. So she did her show first, and I know her name because she's in Louis the Child songs and Quinn songs. But when I went and looked at her top songs, I'm like, I don't even know these, and she's almost as big as Quinn. So in looking through them, in listening to her, she was first. I can't think of anybody else that would even come close. The best female vocalist that I've ever seen live.
Well, how many have you seen? You haven't seen many though, have you?
No, it's probably more than 2, but I haven't seen many. No, I saw a bunch back at Warped Tour when I would go to that, but it's sort of different because that's more of like punk rock.
Different type of music, yeah.
And then I saw Ashy open for Quinn the last time, and she was good, but I mean, gosh, Chelsea is most artists, I like it when they jam the most, but for her, I liked it when all the music stopped and she just sang. I mean, her voice is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of funny. We rolled up to the event, backed the truck in, and we were dancing. There was 4 of us dancing on the bed of my truck. And meanwhile, everybody else around was like kind of down, and a lot of people weren't dancing, and we were going crazy. The whole entire show, the truck.
Were you guys drinking or no?
The truck was going like this, like the entire time because we were all dancing.
Were you guys drinking?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was anybody else drinking around you, or was it just you guys boozing?
No, pretty much everybody was. They never explicitly said that you could, but we had security come up to us 8 times, up to the truck and yell at us.
For what?
They had so much security there that if you had your mask off for more than 30 seconds, they'd be like, "Hey, put your mask on." Or
I mean, I get that. I get it.
Ellie got yelled at for having her leg like over the side of the truck bed, and they came up and they're like, "Hey, you can't have your leg over the side because if you drink a lot later, you could fall out and we'd be liable." Okay. And then later she got yelled at for jumping, like because she was dancing and she jumped and they're like, "Keep your feet on the truck bed."
They didn't like Allie, did they?
At one point, they went up to her 3 times. The one other time they went up to her was they said, "Hey, my manager's right next to me. I don't have anything to say to you, but I just want him to think that I'm doing something."
I understand that oh too well.
And then Ben got yelled at like 5 times for taking his mask off. He would like have a drink and then pull his mask down to have a drink and then forget to put it back up, and they threatened to kick him out for it. Because the night previously, Quinn and Chelsea and Kid Quill played in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And they had to cut the show early. They missed 2 songs, Little Things and Flare Guns, because that's the song they had together that's the biggest is Flare Guns.
Flare Guns, yeah.
And they didn't get to hear it in North Carolina because people didn't have masks on and were drinking and going nuts. So that's why they were so strict at this, is so that they could actually keep the event going. And they did. We got to hear Little Things perform for the first time because of that. It would have been yesterday.
Performed by them. I bet you Louis the Child's already performed it at something.
Maybe. I don't know if they've done any since COVID though. I mean, since current world events.
Maybe.
We'll get banned off of YouTube for saying COVID.
Really?
I don't think that's true anymore. It was for the first 3 or 4 months of it.
You know, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. They've still been performing, so I'm sure they perform at very small venues. Stubbs Barbecue, Steakhouse.
Louis the Child is?
Yeah.
Oh, then it's definitely not. They definitely have played it before then. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But Quinn himself was a blast. Again, we were like dancing up on a truck, so we really stood out. But yeah, it was a really good time. Everything felt like normal again. I felt that way at Tropidelic when I saw them, and I felt that way here. I didn't feel that way at Mark because I was stuck in a car. But to me, this
I
was
think
the best.
eventually things will get back to normal, hopefully.
I hope. But I think this, of all the versions of a concert I went to, was the best way to do it.
You're more of a concert goer, though, than I am. I used to be. I kind of dropped that.
I feel like we would have gone to My Chemical Romance, though. I would have been so.
Oh, I know. That was supposed to happen, what, last week, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the 17th. So not last week, but the week before. Bummer.
So I don't know if you noticed this, but every time we like restart up the podcast, Lil Wayne just decides to release something.
So here's the thing. He's also on a grind lately.
Yeah,
every month he releases new music, whether it's an EP or an album, and I am all about it.
And it's getting better. He's going back to what he used to sound like. The auto-tune is getting out of his music.
I am all about it.
It makes me think back to that conversation we had a while ago when I said that Eminem and Lil Wayne were dead.
I know. And I'm like, fuck you, you're wrong. Oh, excuse my language.
It's all right.
I think you had said that. Did you say that on his funeral album?
And no, I said it right after the Carter
5.
Yeah.
So have you listened to this one yet?
Yeah.
Well, the Carter 5 Deluxe?
This was just 5 new songs, I want to say.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Something like that.
12 new songs. Maybe even 13.
No, it's a deluxe version, so that entire thing, most of those aren't new. I went through and looked at.
Yeah, there's a ton of songs on there.
Yeah, but it's like the Carter 5, like it's like the best of the Carter 5 mixed with like 5 or 6 new songs.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. What am I ready for?
Oh, this one's all of them. I'm trying to find deluxe versus the normal.
Well, the thing that I know for sure looking at it is that...
Actually, all I need to do is pull up the normal on Spotify. Hold on.
I know for sure that What About Me with Post Malone was on the Carter 5. Hasta La Vista was. So I think everything after song 9, including and after song 9, already existed. Yeah, all of these did. I know all these songs. So
he did not have a song with Post Malone on his first album. You are wrong.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. Not on the Carter 5.
Why do I know that song, man?
That's why I'm saying up to Hasta La Vista, it's all new songs.
The Carter.
Up to Hasta La Vista.
Are you sure he didn't have one with Post Malone?
Yep. And I'm making sure that there's none after.
Oh, look at that. So the song What About Me is a song that's on that album, but it's featuring, instead of Post Malone, it's Sosaman. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. So the song existed, but he's got a new feature on it. That's what's going on.
All right. And up to that song, so up to Hasta La Vista. Everything else after Hasta La Vista is on the original.
Gotcha.
Which is fine because up to Hasta La Vista is good, and then the rest I'm like, nah.
Well, I sort of feel the same way. I mean, yeah, I sort of do.
But the song Scotty slapped.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was in the canoe today, and I was canoeing, and that song came on, and I go, this is a vibe. This song just is amazing.
I don't even know what it's about either. I have no idea. But
he doesn't want to be a second hand. He doesn't want to be a Scottie Pippen. That's ultimately what it is.
Got it. Okay, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
I was just listening to the beat mostly, and then him he's got the way that nobody else does of just, I don't know. He speaks right on the beat. I don't know how to describe it, and his voice cuts so differently. It just sounds fantastic, and I'm glad to see him back in this form. I think the moment that he realized it is the last tour when he started doing some stuff from No Ceilings. He started going, oh, people like this more than my albums.
Well, he also had FWA, which I never listened to.
I listened to it. I listened to some of it. I didn't get like really excited about it.
I mean, we've had new music from him every month. It's like awesome. I love it.
Well, we didn't even talk about how he re-released No Ceilings and then added a song about Kobe. He had an old song from Kobe Bryant from like 2009, and he added on a whole second half to that, like post-death, and he goes nuts on that too. It's really good.
No, I'm all about it. I'm loving it. Loving it.
So I think that we just have this thing where every time that we start the podcast back up, he releases music.
I'm cool with that.
Or Eminem. I think Eminem was Kamikaze was like right when we very first started this, I think.
Yeah, and then the most recent time was what do you call it?
Music to be Murdered By.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I still listen to that. That's a good album.
That is a good album. Another good album I'd recommend you to listen to. It's just like relaxing, speaks to the soul kind of music, is The Neighborhood's new album.
Ooh, I didn't know they released something. I'm gonna write that down.
A1 album. It's called Chip Chrome and the Monotones. And it's really good.
All right. I don't know if I've listened to anything new of theirs in I don't know how long. Like
they've been releasing singles all year. Their last album though came out in 2018. I think we even did a review on it. And I was okay with it, but it was not my favorite.
But this one's better.
Oh yeah, this one's.
Is it like a transformation of their style, or is it really similar?
It's more psychedelic, kind of like.
Funkadelic.
No, not funkadelic. Funkadelic's different. This is like.
Look, but you know
if you were on drugs, I could see someone listening to this, like choosing this as a vibe album to listen to. Easy.
All right. I'll definitely give it a listen then. It sounds like a good thing.
And then Zayn released a new song.
Who?
Zayn, the One Direction dude.
Yeah.
He released a new song called Better. I listened to it. Wasn't crazy about it. It was like too slow for Zayn. Also, Machine Gun Kelly made an album, and I haven't listened to it yet. Have you?
No, I haven't. I have not. I listened to this week. There was the song "Franchise" by Travis Scott, Young Thug. It's fine. I wasn't that into it either. The Zayn song I listened to as well. It's fine. And that's
Travis Scott has turned more into not really into a rapper, but more into just
he's more of a McDonald's.
You throw him on anything just to make money.
He's more of a McDonald's sponsor.
That's what I was gonna say. You throw his name on anything and you're gonna make money.
It's lit.
It's lit.
But it's all right. We still love you, but do better. But Epidemic by Polo G. I don't know who he is.
Polo G? One of the youngest rappers in the game.
I like him. I like his style. It's a little bit different. I feel like it's something fresh that I hope he does more of. because Epidemic, even though it's called Epidemic, and you know how I feel about anything related to current world event songs, I still think he's got a really good style.
Levels of Concern is a great song. I don't care what you say.
It's okay. All right, let's talk about hot takes. If you think that that's a bad opinion, let's hear this hot take from you about the new Justin Bieber and Chance the Rapper song, because I think a lot of people would find your opinion of that surprising.
Didn't do anything for me. Still doesn't do anything for me.
Did you ever finally get through enough to hear Chance the Rapper, or do you still cut it off before he starts?
I don't listen. I don't really care to listen to it enough to get that far, but I have heard. I listened to it all the way through. Yes.
Gotcha.
Still
I liked
do
it.
For me.
I liked it. It's relaxing. It's I feel like those two artists have this sort of religious side of them that they just like shows up in their music here and there, but it's not really their focus. And when they mix it together, I think it just makes sense.
Yeah, they got good chemistry too, those two. They always have.
So is this the first one since I'm the One?
I think so. How many? I mean, what's their?
I'm the One.
Justin Bieber hasn't made much music.
Other than his entire album.
Other than his entire album, and he didn't have a collab with Chance on there.
Yeah.
So I think it is since I'm the One.
Song of the summer, best song ever.
No, there was another one since then with DJ Khaled.
What was it? Must have been bad.
No, this was a no-brainer.
I don't know what that is. I don't think.
Can't play it.
Why not?
Are we gonna get booted?
Yeah. We can cut it.
It's called No Brainer.
Okay. I don't remember that, but we'll move on from there. So what was going on today? I saw a video. You said you were on a canoe. Where were you?
By a lake by my place, and I was just canoeing and taking in some weather and some fresh air.
Your video was hilarious. You're like, I probably should have put on a life jacket before I came out to the middle of a lake when I can't swim.
well, I didn't. I don't know. I was a little distracted when I was getting into the canoe, and then they like threw the life jacket at me, and I was like, oh yeah, and I threw it in the front seat because I had 2 seats, and I got the canoe rather than like putting it on before I actually took off. I got the canoe all the way out to the middle, and then I was like, ah. But the thing that spooked me was when I looked down in the water, you could see the seaweed coming up, but then, you know, it got darker as it went down and you couldn't see anything. And I was like, if my feet can't reach the bottom, there's probably an issue here. And right when I got out there, I saw someone, like a 2-person kayak, flip. And I was like, ooh, I gotta put this thing on. I'm gonna be in trouble if I don't. So.
But you made it. So that's the second life-threatening experience you made it through. Near-death experience.
What was the first?
COVID.
Oh, COVID. Well, I'm trying to live life more on the edge, spice things up a little bit. I thought that was a good way to do it, because if I flip, I die. It's pretty spicy.
Especially with all the weight you lost, you really go like straight down like a pencil.
Probably right.
Actually, it depends on the type. I feel like
although doesn't fat float?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so then probably not, right? I'm bringing you guys to my more comfy seat. I'm a little miserable over there.
And then I noticed that Carrie Underwood released an album, and I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll listen to a Carrie Underwood album. I was all excited. And then I looked at the name, and I was like, it's a Christmas album. It's a little early for me to listen to that.
Hey!
I'll listen to it for sure in a couple months.
The first 2 days of my COVID quarantine, I watched 3 Christmas movies and listened to Christmas music the entire time.
What's the best Christmas movie ever made?
Elf.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Elf.
Elf is fantastic, though. I can't argue with how great that movie is.
I did not see that she released a Christmas album. I'll have to give that a check out.
Yep, I haven't listened to it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And it came out Friday, so.
Costco's already selling Christmas trees.
It's too early. It's not even October. We shouldn't even be selling like Halloween decorations. I see people setting up because everyone's so bored from current world events that everyone's already setting up their
for Christmas?
Halloween stuff.
Oh, I was gonna for Christmas. No,
I'm feeling this year's Christmas is gonna just go until like March this year. I think everyone's just gonna keep all their lights up.
Do your parents believe in Little Christmas or no?
I don't know what that is. What's Little
The
Christmas?
Epiphany.
I mean, do they believe in the Epiphany? Of course.
Well, do they celebrate it? Do they leave? Like my family always keeps their lights up to Little Christmas, the Epiphany.
Oh yeah, that's how my parents are about it. We take down
that. What is it? 2 extra weeks after Christmas until January 7th or something.
And we usually keep ours up even longer, but that's when we start taking some of them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard it called Little Christmas ever. That's new to me.
You learn something new every day, David.
You know, if you have moldy cheese, you've got mold growing on mold.
But cheese isn't mold.
Yeah, it is. It's moldy milk.
No. Mold is alive. Cheese isn't.
John Lennon certainly isn't.
R.I.P.
I think I'm putting this back up. It's getting in my eyes.
How long are you going to keep that for?
Well, you mean long hair?
Yeah.
I don't want to cut it until probably Halloween, because right around Halloween last year is when I stopped cutting it, and I just want to be able to say that I've gone a year. So that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, I'll probably trim it, make it look nicer, because right now it's so thick that it's just like it doesn't look good. It just looks crazy. So I'll get it cleaned up.
Yep.
But for now, I'm sticking it out at least a month.
Every time I think about growing out my hair, I get annoyed, and I'm like, nah, no patience anymore.
The first 5 months.
It's just not worth it for me. It's just not worth it.
I always get compliments. People will be like when I'm at work or something up in York, I'll have a girl come up to me, or like I'll pass a girl, she'll go, "Oh my gosh, your hair is amazing. It looks so good." And I'm like, "Yeah?" And then they're like, "I wish I had it." And then I'm like,
I don't miss that either.
Like, constant. That's not what I was hoping for.
Yeah. What else happened this week in your life? I'm trying to think of what happened for me.
Oh, I have a new niece as of Wednesday.
Congrats.
I met her today for the first time.
What's the name?
Catherine.
Catherine
Irene Kindle. So,
okay. That's awesome.
There you go. She is tiny compared to what the other two were. She's like 7 pounds and something, which is really not that little. But
Yeah,
compared to the other
big.
kids, yeah, compared to the other kids that they have had, she is tiny. So yeah, it was
That's awesome.
that was
Uncle
really
David.
cool.
Got 3 nieces and nephews now.
Yep.
An ever-growing family.
And they're all so happy, and it's awesome. They're having a good time over there. So yeah, I got to spend some time with their older, and she opened her eyes a little bit today too. So that was good. Yeah, a lot going on. Other than that, I was in York all week, so I just got back Friday. So
got back Friday. Concert yesterday. Did you do anything Friday or no?
Nope. Enjoyed myself. Just
there you go. That's all that you need.
Relaxed, slept.
So that's what I was trying to do today when I went out on the lake. It's like I just gotta relax. I was like, beautiful fall weather.
Today was beautiful here. I don't know.
Leaves are changing. You know, I just wanted to take advantage of that. So went on a hike and then hit the lake, and it was nice. Just trying to take it easy today because I went real hard on Friday.
What'd you do Friday? Oh, we went hard. When you say went hard, you don't mean like exercise. You meant like you went out.
No, I went out. Yeah. I had people at my place, and then we got dragged to a different place, and we ended up not even making it out. None of us did. The farthest we made it out, it's right down the street here. We went to Taco Bell. That was it. Fun.
Hey, that's not a bad night.
But
one of these days, I'm gonna come up to your place to visit you, but not to see you. I just really want to get the what do you call it?
The Juicy Lucy?
No, no. At the bowling place, they have what's the sandwich that's got like sauerkraut in it? What is that called? I'm gonna look that up. Oh, I can't think of this.
It was a panini.
A Reuben.
Reuben panini, yeah.
That was the best sandwich I think I've ever had in my entire life.
I can't believe you didn't have a Juicy Lucy when you came here. That's like a Minnesota staple.
Is it at that place, or is there a different place for it?
There's other places, but yeah, that's one of them.
Juicy Lucy.
And then the other thing, but you did have this, was Punch Pizza.
Yes.
You had some Punch Pizza when you came.
Punch Pizza. I still miss Lou Malnati's. Pretty bad.
Oh, you miss it? Imagine how I feel. Oh,
I don't know. I can't imagine.
I wanted so bad.
I already have really big problems when I leave for 1 week to go to York, and I don't have a.
You don't have Skyline or Penn Station?
I had it yesterday. It was the only thing I ate yesterday and the only thing I ate today.
I will be 100% honest with you. I miss going to Skyline with you or Penn Station. I miss Penn Station so much. There is no sandwich place like that around here.
No, there's none in York either. When I'm out there, I'm like, I don't have Skyline or Penn Station. So when I get here, that's all I eat.
See, but you could do you could grab the canned Skyline and bring that with you to York.
You could get the frozen Lou Malnati's and make that work too, though.
I haven't been home.
You can get it shipped to you, right? That would be really expensive.
No.
In a freezer truck.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Did we ever go there? Like the actual place?
Toulouse?
Lou Malnati's.
No, we never went.
I hope this is interesting if anyone's listening? Like, do you care about us talking about our pizza places, our chili places? Because
Hey, everybody's got an opinion on pizza, man. I'm telling you.
We're already what? We're like half hour into this thing. No one's listening at this point, anyways. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah, true.
Got anything you want to like get off your chest?
I'm currently turtlenecking.
Please text us if you heard that and say what you let us know what you heard, just so we know that someone actually got to that point.
Yes, if somebody got to that point, let us know. I want to know.
Well, I guess you probably want to end this thing pretty soon then.
No. We're good.
That's so funny. Gosh.
I forgot what we were talking about before everything.
Yeah, and chili.
Before the pizza and chili. Before that, we were talking about
Carrie Underwood's Christmas album. That was the last music thing we were talking about.
That was the last music thing, yeah.
Oh, we talked about that my brother had a kid. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
What do you think of the song called Hope?
Spell that.
Hope?
By.
I don't know.
I thought you said HOE. So before I carry on to that, I do want to say the Lil Wayne song from that album. Going back to the Lil Wayne album.
In This House.
He sampled WAP.
Yes.
So the refrain for it is honestly like hurts my ears, but the rest of it I enjoy pretty thoroughly. I think he goes pretty hard. So the refrain's a little.
I kind of liked the fact that he sampled that.
I like that he sampled it, but the refrain that he has, like, it doesn't mesh well.
Also, the song is called I Hope, and it's by Gabby Barrett. Gabby Barrett.
Don't know it.
It's a country song. Sounds a lot like Carrie Underwood. That's why when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, Carrie Underwood. Gabby Barrett.
Right.
Oh.
Another one I'll write down, too, then.
I like the song a lot.
Gabby Barnett, Goldmine. All right. Exciting. So I've still been listening to, just to tell you what I've been listening to.
Oh, that was released in June, too.
I think that Juice WRLD's album, Legends Never Die, is one of the best things to come out this year. I don't know how much I have a feeling that he didn't write any of the music for this, and they just had sound clips of different recordings that he did. Apparently, Juice WRLD, I was just hearing about this, they would just take him in the studio and say, all right, here's this, just freestyle. And he would just freestyle and it'd be a hit. And he would just do hit after hit after hit after hit, and then they would choose the best ones and put that in. And so there's like ridiculous amounts of recordings of things that were hits that they never put on albums that they still have. So that's why this turned out so well, in my opinion, is because they have so much backlog of things that he's attempted and tried. And I think the production on it is second to none. Like, I shouldn't say second to none, but it's incredible. It's really good. And it really spooks me, the song Wishing Well. He's just, everything about that song freaks me out because the refrain is I can't breathe, which is not only relevant for George Floyd, but it's also relevant for COVID and everyone complaining about the masks. It's like the phrase that everybody has been talking about.
Yeah.
And he passed away well before COVID and all of that stuff. And then the rest of the song is him confessing and giving up his secrets about drug use. He's like, I take pills. The one line that like gives me chills, he says, if I wasn't taking these pills, I wouldn't be here. But if I keep taking these pills, I won't be here. I'm like, dang. He's literally predicting.
He's foreshadowing everything what's going to happen to him.
That's happening in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was one of the coolest songs on there.
Still think my favorite album from him is Death Race for Love. I loved it when it was released. I still listen to every song on it. That is by far my favorite album from him.
I really wish he was still around. I mean, that's his best album. But I think for 2020, this album is still one of the top albums of 2020.
What's your most played song this year so far, do you think?
I don't know how to check. I guess I can't check.
You can't check that. That's just something you got to know. What's your go-to jam every time this year?
That's a really tough one. Do you have one off the top of your head that you've listened to?
I do. You want me to tell?
Yeah, let's hear it while I try to think of.
Mine's definitely the one that I sent you and was like, the song of the summer right here. Be Like That, Kane Brown, Khalid, and
oh yeah, that's right.
That song is my most played song this year.
You could have predicted that right when it came out. You knew that was going to be one of your top songs of this year.
Yep.
For a while there, I was listening to the Hard to Forget by Sam Hunt. For some reason, that song's just a jam to me. I was listening to that a lot.
That's a good one. And
then what else? For some reason, I keep going back to No Worries by Lil Wayne. That's an old song. But
I ain't got no worries.
At the end, he just goes nuts. Like, literally just starts yelling, and it gets me excited. I don't know. I normally listen to, like, playlists and stuff, so I don't know what a number one go-to song is. I mean, at one point in the year, I was listening to Buffett's album a ton, his new album, which is coming out on vinyl soon, by the way. So I'm interested in getting that.
I would get the vinyl for that. I love the Buffett album.
It's a really good album cover too, so it'd be a good one to put up here with the other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That's my one. I guess it's hard to forget.
Hard to Forget's a good one though. That's probably my number 2.
Really? I didn't know. I thought I first brought it up, you didn't like it because the vibes that you were having.
Yeah, it just hit too close to home. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm. That's interesting to me that you've come around on it.
That one's probably my number 2, and my number 3 is probably Coffee.
Quinn. I just had 2 cups of coffee.
Those are probably my top 3 of the year. In any order, but I'd be willing to bet somebody on my top 5 this year. I think I know what my top 5 are. A Juice WRLD song's in there actually.
I think Wishing Well would be in there. I have listened to that quite a bit lately. I know that's one that I just talked about.
Mine's Robbery.
Robbery's a good one. Yep. Good call. You know what I just did? Because you messaged me 3 weeks ago, something like that, and you just go, Trent. I just listened to Trench, and it is absolutely incredible.
It is so good. And then you messaged me back this last week and was like, Trench, dude.
On Friday, I drove home, and I was like, so one of the songs got stuck in my head that I haven't heard in a long time, and I was like, oh, that is on Trench. I think it was Nico and the Niners. I was like, I kind of forgot about this album because I've listened to a lot of Pilots, and I keep skipping that one. I don't know why. And it might be their best album.
That album is unreal, dude. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, this thing is amazing. And I'm singing along to the songs or whatever, and it just progresses. And I'm like, this is the best song on the album. Next song. This is the best song on the album. Next one. This one's the best one on the album.
Well, I was thinking that the album ended really poorly because that was my memory, is that it just like started hot and then it got cold, but it's not. They're all really, really good. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree because
I do have a song. I do have 2 songs I always skip on that one.
Leave This City is the most boring.
I disagree.
What do you think is the most boring?
Levitate. I don't like Levitate.
Oh, I love Levitate.
Don't like Levitate, and then I don't like Neon Gravestones. Even though that initially was my favorite song on the album. But Neon Gravestones, it's just too slow for me. For the rest of the album, it doesn't really fit the vibe of the album. So yeah, usually those are my 2 skips: Levitate and Neon Gravestones.
Leave This City is mine for whatever reason. It's fine.
I think the second half of the album is better than the first, in my opinion.
It's hard to say that, though, because Morph is so stinking good. The hype is so
I know. My
good.
Blood. Chlorine is my favorite song on the album.
Gotta be the best song. That and Morph have to be the best still.
Chlorine is my favorite. My second favorite is either Cut My Lip or Pet Cheetah.
I still really like, is it Legend? Is that the name of that song? You're a legend in my own mind. What's the name of that?
I wish I knew you.
Yeah. That one came out like right after my grandpa passed, so it still hits me. And he's like, my middle name. I'm like, yep. So I still love that song too. Yeah. And it's been, I don't know how long since I've listened to it. It may have been 9 months or something. So
great album.
Incredible. I found this guy, and I kind of want to send him to you. I think he might be full of it. Like he might just, what is his name? It's like the Pharaoh or something like that. His name is like Rap Fan as well. And he just reviews bands, but he's coming from a place of only having listened to rap. And he starts reviewing 21 Pilots, and he's become obsessed with them. It's JY the Pharaoh. He's like not very well known, and he cracks me up because every video of him it'll get to like the part where Tyler is like rapping in some sort of way, and he'll pause the video and go, yo, Tyler can go, man. He's like, I just love it. That's what got me wanting to listen to Trench, just because how excited he was getting.
2 days ago, he did 21 Pilots Forest.
Yeah. So I recommend starting with like his first one when he has no idea who they are, because he's so funny.
My first time hearing Pet Cheetah one day ago, I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah, he goes crazy. It's so funny. I don't know if he's being honest. I really don't, but I don't care. I really don't.
I'll check it out. Check it out.
So that's what got me back into 21 Pilots. I have no idea how I found that guy. Probably just popped up on YouTube.
Well, I was happy when I got your text. Initially, I thought my text was sent back to me, and I was very confused. I was like, how did I just receive the text that I sent?
Oh, about the album. Hey, it's right here, by the way. How about that?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
How about that?
The album below it's excellent too.
California. The reason I like that album is because of you.
I just listened to that album 2 days ago.
So I don't know.
I think 9 was underrated, and people just hated on it for no reason.
You think it was underrated?
Yeah. I think people hated on it for no reason. I think it's actually a decent album.
I think it's a decent album, but I don't think it's as good as California.
No, I don't think it's as good as California either. I think California is the best Blink album ever made, which is a very unpopular opinion.
By the way, who's the guy from Jackass? Help me out here. The guy with a voice like this.
Oh, Steve.
Steve-O.
Steve-O, yeah, Stevie.
He came out with like a comedy special where he shows clips. I think you should watch that too. It's on his website, and it's really hilarious. It's really good.
Steve-O.
I think you have to pay for it, but it's good.
And you watched it?
I watched the entire thing.
And it's funny?
It's hilarious. He'll tell a story and then show clips at the same time to like explain what happened and all that stuff. And yeah, he ended up with third-degree burns because of something stupid he was doing recently. And he was trying to do a fire angel, like a snow angel, and just absolutely had like blisters just hanging all off of his body. But
it is $10.
yeah.
That's pricey. How the heck did you pay that?
Yeah, I did.
All right. If it's worth it, I'll do it.
You don't have to, but I thought it was pretty entertaining, so
I'll probably do it.
all right. Do we cut this thing? Leave the rest of the talk for the next time?
Yeah. Cut it off. I'll talk again next time. I mean, we
This
did
was fun.
pretty much
How long
did
was
this for
this?
an hour already, so
It's been an hour.
yeah.
That was an easy hour.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'm sure we missed like 20 things, but that's all right.
Oh, we totally did, but it doesn't matter. Save it for next week.
Yep. I'll be excited to.
And I will I'll give Carrie Underwood's Christmas album a listen.
And give this YouTube guy.
Oh, I'm gonna do that regardless. Yeah. But I bet you next week we have at least 3 more Christmas albums.
Next week you get to review that album. I'm not gonna listen to it.
Okay.
But I'll listen to your review though.
Sounds good.
All right. This was a good one. So in the famous words that we used to say, and now we'll say again, that concludes the Sunken Submarine podcast for week 1 of season 4.
Goodbye.
Arrivederci, my friends. I think I screwed that up again.